sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, Colorado. Tonight we start Week 14 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Denver Broncos. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. This defense for the Broncos, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
On 2nd and 9, Watson to the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and now 2 yards to go on 3rd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. Faced with their first 3rd down conversion opportunity and able to punch it through and pick it up on the ground.
And to me, doing it on the ground sends a different type of a message than throwing the football. And, you know, let's face it, we've done a lot of games together. How often have we seen 3rd down turn into an automatic passing down no matter what the yardage?
Yeah, and last thing you want, that opening drive to go 3 and out. You got everything scripted, lined up. Let's get some points on the board. They're able to avoid that 3 and out. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Watson now to throw. Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And they're knocking on the door now, as a good run there going to take this to about the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
From the 15 now after the sack. It's 3rd and goal. Here's Watson.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. York able to send this one through.
And the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead.
And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos.
At their own 25-yard line. To throw is Wilson. He's got a man complete. There he goes right side. And all the way home for a Broncos score. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation. Knowing when it exists to go to it, they did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, get that water break and get on out there and play.
The Browns drive about to get started.
They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more of what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win, but we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it all together, they've got a chance of coming out with a W.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Watson. He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
On 1st down, Watson.
Over the middle, that's caught by Schwartz. He's got room at the 30.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. To throw is Watson. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown.
David Bell.
His first touchdown on the year.
And the Browns have regained the lead. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Now a first carry for the former Tar Heel, Javonte Williams.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Sacked by Andrew Van Ginkel.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It'll be a 39-yard punt. Give him a good 10 yards on the return. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. Also like what the runner's giving us.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Nick Chubb hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by York is up and good.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
New York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
And listen, these Thursday night games, they're tough on the body. You just played on Sunday, 72 hours later. Hey, it's game day again, but I have to think a Thursday night game in September much more preferable than a Thursday nighter in December, no?
Well, there's no doubt about it. You mentioned how tough it is on the body.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
3rd and 2. Now Wilson. Got a man complete. It's Hamler. And he will have the Broncos first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2. The Broncos at 8-4 now in the year. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Play action. Now Wilson. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down.
Chalk that one up to bad acting, I guess, because they certainly failed to sell the handoff, and the pressure stayed keyed in on the quarterback. No Oscar awards for this offense, just a loss of yardage.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Wilson going deep downfield for Ross. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
This is taken around the 12. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. They have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
And that'll be incomplete as it's knocked away. But a penalty flag is down. So who's this going to be on?
And they get Jack Conklin there, the right tackle.
Now it's Watson. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Oh, he caught it. Just couldn't get the feet down. Couldn't get that toe tap sequence, right? I was ready to call him tippy toes if that one was completed.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And they're able to bring him down at the 20.
76 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
I don't think anyone thought we'd see a run facing second and that long, and that element of surprise, I think, helped make that play so successful. Nice effort on that carry, and it took what seemed like second and impossible. Now has him within throwing range of a first down.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Back to throw, Watson. Pressure comes, and down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th. The Browns send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll take it just outside the 40.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return.
And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On the counter, here's Williams. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position.
And look at this. It's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off.
Boy, that's asking a lot of your punt team there. They were not able to deliver.
It's asking an awful lot of the punt team there, because if it's 4th and 4, 4th and 3, you've got a chance, right? That's a manageable distance to try and pick up when you're running a fake. But when that number's actually been in the weight room and it's pumped up like it was, that's difficult to do, all right? So you might even think to yourself, if I left my offense on the field, would they be able to pick that up? You could run a nice play and not get that distance.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the 50, it's Watson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Anytime a ball is thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Watson. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out. But his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
Here's Chubb on the read action.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I know where we're headed on this. Terrific catch, gets his feet down, sets up a 4th down and short situation. But I bet we're wondering, why didn't he get to the 1st down marker running his route? Am I correct?
You got to know where the marker is, right?
Got to figure it out. I know every receiver is taught that. Sometimes circumstances change it. At least they have an opportunity to make a decision with not much yardage to go.
Running for it. Here's Chubb. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the 1st. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. They run again on 1st down, Chubb. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, Watson. They set up the screen to Chubb.
And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback?
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. Following the penalty, Chubb. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. They'll try the air now with Watson. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal.
They give the Chubb out of the gun. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
York able to send this one through.
And that will open the lead up now to 20-7.
So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Broncos.
And as we've talked to special teams coaches, that theme of being aggressive continues to come through, doesn't it? When they moved the kickoff back to the 35, it was going to cut down on the number of opportunities. But if you've got a special guy, you give him the green light no matter where he fields in the end zone. And in this case, it paid off handsomely.
He fielded it deep in the range of emotions. Maybe like, oh, no, don't. And then all of a sudden you see him break it. And you're like, yeah, way to go.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remind your head coach that he approved the green light for bringing it out from deep in the end zone. And that's exactly why he did.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Watson. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Watson. Over the middle, Cooper with it. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Off of play action, it's Watson. He's going to air one out. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, their first 2 drives yielded touchdowns, so there's no reason for them to feel like they have to pull back on the reins. They pushed it downfield, looking for another one right there. Didn't get it, but we know they're going to continue to be bold.
The final shot before the break, Watson. He's going to try and go deep again. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Off the option, here's Williams.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
On 2nd and 10, Wilson.
A throw left side, hauled in by Hamler. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
They'll come to the line here, needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Taking a shot for Samuel. And he's got it inside the 10. And all the way home for a Broncos score.
Well, you normally talk about the mobility and the accuracy first, but the arm strength, that's what can turn Russ into danger Russ.
And you'd think on 3rd down, they'd just be looking for something right beyond the sticks. And I think they caught the defense flat-footed as a result because they decided they were going to take a shot right there, and it ended up being a big play.
And the next-gen stats, they tell the story. That's a full 67 yards in the air.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Browns drive about to get started.
And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent, still the same in what they plan to do on offense.
Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play calls, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
He's going to wind up and air it out. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
Throwing on third down, Watson. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
The Browns send out their punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Taking it about the 16. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to
take it right down Broadway. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score.
Javonte Williams.
Halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And they are able to add on to their advantage. McManus's point after is good. And the lead is up to 8. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Browns drive about to get started.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And some room to run now. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. Right back to him on first down. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. 2 yards the loss, second and 12. Watson now to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Of course, they have the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
Here's Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 35. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. So a first and 10 now in Denver territory at the 35-yard line. Back to throw. Watson. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. Coming up now on a second and 15 following that sack. Looking to throw. Watson. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Yeah, no question. He got to the QB late, CD, and that's going to get a flag every time.
Every single time because, let's face it, the league is always going to have an emphasis on these calls. They want to take care of these quarterbacks who are in vulnerable positions when they're passing the football.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game. And the Browns have come back to make it a 2-point game. Now the Browns offense will stay on the field as they'll go for 2 here. Looking to maybe throw for it here, Watson. And he'll get into the end zone, and those 2 points are going to tie the game. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes can prove risky there. It worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 46. Now we give up the middle to Williams.
And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
So that play, I mean, it was pretty well blown up from the start, and it results in a turnover.
Yeah, and when you're running the option like that as a quarterback, you have so many different keys and reads to make that sometimes as you're making them, you're not protecting the ball the way you should, and it gets popped free.
The Browns drive about to get started. This offense thankful, I'm sure, to have the football back, but also, Charles, after a long drive of their own, they've got to be a little weary.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and what you have to do to combat it, try and get fresh legs in where you can, especially to skill positions. Line, instead of attacking, maybe slow the tempo down a little bit, let them catch their breath.
And Nathaniel Hackett apparently disagrees with the ruling on the field, and he's going to challenge this one. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass.
From just shy of midfield, Watson. And the Broncos get there and take him down.
More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
On second down, Williams. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Wilson winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them off, and they are shredding them in this ball game.
Williams.
He fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup.
Here we go, here we go.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So here now is Brandon McManus in a big spot. This to break our fourth quarter tie. The kick by McManus is good, and they have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter.
So he waited on the sideline for his first chance in the ball game, and it didn't come until the fourth quarter, but he connects there. A big one to give him the lead.
Boy, you talk about coming in cold. I don't care how many times you kick it into a net. You're not really ready when you go out there and all that beef is coming at you trying to block the kick. Big spot, and he delivers.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game.
The safety Landon Collins there to make the tackle.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Watson's throw taken in there by Cooks.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Now a throw here, hauled in. A gain of 8 there on the play. And they'll be left with second and a couple. And trouble trying the middle here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Watson on third down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Williams running left. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like you know his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do you know, what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds. And then the last second, oh no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe close to letting it slip away.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
The kick by McManus is good. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And that last turnover could have proven more costly, but their defense only gave up 3. But now answering with a field goal doesn't do them much on this drive. They need to try and find the end zone. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Now here's a throw that's complete. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Throwing again is Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Now it's Watson. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Matt Ioannidis bullying his way in and sticking into the turf. The Browns send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. They'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain night, and it's a good one. It's taken to the 26. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The Broncos on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 9. Now it's Wilson. This is Hamler on the receiving end. Yeah, boy, he had the marker square in his sights, but a good tackle is going to leave him about a yard or so short. And his defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now. On, we think, to punt, though he's faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty.
You need to get the ball away here in the 4th quarter while you're just holding a slim lead. But that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
They begin this drive with Chubb. And space opened up a bit. He's able to take this up past the 10.
123 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2.
From the gun, here's Watson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. He's got a man complete. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown.
Anthony Schwartz
With touchdown number 7 on the year.
And the Browns strike quickly here to tie up the ball game.
I don't think there's any great secret or mystery here. We're in the 4th quarter. You've got to take that shot, especially since you're down on the scoreboard. But I have to understand what was going on defensively. They've got to know that as well, don't they?
Absolutely, but they look lost defensively, and they took that shot, got in the end zone, now in position here to take the lead. Critical extra point up and good. And that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And brought down there by Taylor Rapp.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Wilson. He finds the speedster Ross. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Wilson to throw. Taking a shot for Samuel. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well have run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
On third down, here's Williams. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. And now here comes their final timeout, as they take it with 8 ticks remaining.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman, the ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
So this thing rests on the shoulders of Brandon McManus. This from long, very long range. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. You talk about a big kick under pressure in the fourth quarter. I mean, that wasn't like a 33-yarder. That was long distance.
Not only does it show the faith that they have in him, but also remember, if they miss that one, they're giving up the ball near midfield, so they had to be very confident that he was going to put that one to the post.
And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So for the Broncos, it's a very important win as they move to 9-4 now on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for Cleveland.